Okay, today we are going to discuss a new topic, and that is aggregate demand. Here we'll learn what is the meaning of aggregate demand, what are the components of aggregate demand. So aggregate demand means the sum total of demand of all goods and services in an economy during an accounting year. So let us see this aggregate demand. So aggregate demand, this we can write aggregate demand means the sum total of demand for all the goods and services in an economy during an accounting year. So let us see, this aggregate demand is measured in terms of total expenditure, because aggregate demand, how can we measure the demand, aggregate demand of a country? So aggregate demand of a country is measured. Let us see, it is measured in terms of total final expenditure on the goods and services by all the economic units. So in the economy, we have seen different economic units are there, and they are making the demand of the goods and services. When they are making the demand of the goods, they are making the expenditure. Let us see who are the economic units who make the expenditure. So let us see, the first one is households. Second one is the producers, they are called firms. Third one is the government, and rest of the world. So these are the different economic units who used to make the demand of goods and services. When they used to make the demand, they used to make the expenditure. This, let us see, aggregate demand. This is the demand for the gross domestic product. So we can write, let us see, this aggregate demand. We can say aggregate demand, AD in short. Aggregate demand is equal to aggregate expenditure. Aggregate demand is equal to aggregate expenditure, and this is also equal to the value of GDP. Let us see what will happen into the economy if suppose GDP increases, the national income increases, the level of income into the economy increases. Then certainly what will happen? The level of income of the economy will increase, the people's purchasing capacity will increase, then aggregate expenditure will also increase. When aggregate expenditure will increase, means aggregate demand will also increase. So aggregate demand, this GDP increases, means level of income increases, means this aggregate expenditure increases, means aggregate demand also increases. So let us see what are the components of the aggregate demand. I think the meaning is clear to all of you. Aggregate demand means that's the sum total of demand for all the goods and services in an economy during an accounting year. I have written it is measured in terms of total final expenditure on the goods and services by all the economic units, that is household, producers, government, and rest of the world. And this is the demand for the gross domestic product. It means AD is equal to aggregate expenditure is equal to gross domestic product. So I think this is clear. Let us see what are the components. This aggregate expenditure means total expenditure. Aggregate expenditure means total expenditure. Let us see. Next one comes components. Components of aggregate demand. So aggregate demand is having 4 components. The aggregate demand is divided into 4 components. The first and most important is private consumption demand. Private consumption demand is also known as private consumption expenditure. Private consumption expenditure means this is the demand made by the household. This is private consumption demand means the demand made by the consumer household, and this is denoted by C. It means private consumption demand is denoted by C. Private consumption demand means the demand made by the consumers in an economy during an accounting year. It means you are knowing, be the household, we used to buy varieties of goods. We are buying durable goods, such as we are buying, suppose summer season is there, air condition, then fans, then coolers, or let us say during winter season, this the heaters, geyser, or let us say in the houses, the television, these furnitures, this computer, these all are the goods, utensils, the food items, these all goods and services are being demanded, clothes, different items are being demanded by the consumer household. When the consumer household demanded, certainly they make the expenditure. So consumption demand, private consumption demand depends upon the factors. Let us see what is the factor on which this private consumption demand depends. This depends upon the level of income. We can say disposable income. Disposable income. It means consumption depends upon the disposable income. It also depends upon the propensity to consume. Propensity to consume. So, disposable income denoted by Y. It means consumption is the function of income. Here we can write this consumption is the function of income, disposable income. If suppose income will increase, consumption will also increase. This C means consumption. C, you are knowing, is consumption. Consumption. F establishes the relation. This is disposable income. So, this consumption also depends upon the propensity to consume. Propensity to consume means how much of the percentage of the income used for consumption. If suppose one person has income of equal to 100 and he used to spend 60 rupees goes for consumption. So here C is 60 and let us see how much is the income. Income is Y. So this 60 divided by Y means 100. It means propensity to consume. This is 0.6. This propensity to consume, we can say marginal propensity to consume. It means this 60% goes for consumption. It means 40%. Where does it go? It means 40% goes for saving. If suppose this propensity to consume is less, it means this. It means if this is more, this propensity to consume is more, then what happened? Then less money is saved. Or what? Propensity to consume is less, means more money is saved. It means consumption demand into the economy depends upon the disposable income as well as the propensity to consume. I think this first concept. The second is the second component. The second component of aggregate demand is investment demand. Investment demand. Investment demand. Investment means investment, all of you are knowing, investment is the process of creation of physical assets. It means physical assets, means investment on the land, buildings, machine, tools, equipments, raw materials. These are called the investment expenditure. So investment is made in order to create the asset into the economy. Investments are made by the producers, by the firms in order to create the physical assets. Because if the means capital goods, if the consumption of the capital goods will increase, then certainly it will lead to the production of goods and services. So this investment depends upon the rate of interest. Rate of interest. So investment depends upon rate of interest, and it also depends upon rate of returns. Rate of returns. It means investment demand of the goods and services in an economy depends upon the two factors, and the first one is the rate of interest. If the rate of interest is low, then investment demand is more. If the rate of interest is high, then investment is low. It means what happened? Investment demand. Another one is rate of returns. If the producer thinks that in near future the price of the goods will increase, in near future the demand of goods will increase, then they will make more and more expenditure. That is why I told you investment demand depends upon two factors. One is the rate of interest, another one is rate of returns. So I think this is also clear to all of you. Let us see what is the third component. Third component is government demand. Government demand. We can write G. Government demand. Let us see, government also used to demand the goods either for consumption or for capital formation or for the creation of the assets, such as government used to demand the consumer goods in order to maintain the law and order situation, in order to meet the consumption expenditure in the form of education, in the form of health, in the form of different forms. So government expenditure, government demanding the consumers goods, government is also demanding the capital goods. Government used to construct the roads, construct the building, construct the dams, construct the airports, construct the helipads, so bridges. So this government demand, government is also demanding the goods and services. Government demand both this consumer goods as well as the capital goods. So government demand of goods and services depends upon the government policy. It depends upon the government policy. We can say government policy. If the policy of the government is to make welfare, then more of the expenditure will be made by the government. If the government policy is not to make welfare, then less of the goods will be demanded into the economy. So government expenditure, government demand of goods and services depends upon the government policy of the country. Let us see what is the fourth component. The fourth component of the aggregate demand is net exports. Net exports. Net exports. Net exports of goods and services. This is the difference between export minus import. X means export, M means import. Export, let us see, is the demand made by the foreigners. Import is the demand made by our economy. So we are making the demand of the goods and services. Foreigners are also making the demand of goods and services. If the differences are being calculated, and they will constitute the components of aggregate demand. So let us see these components of aggregate demand. We have seen this aggregate demand is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. It means this is the formula of the aggregate demand. So I think this aggregate demand is clear to all of you. So I told you this aggregate demand is related with the level of income. If the level of income increases, aggregate demand will also increase. If suppose this national income increases, then aggregate demand will also increase. So let us see that relation also. So this components of aggregate demand, this aggregate demand, here what we have seen, the goods and services, it is demanded either for consumption or for investment, and that is why this formula is simplified. This aggregate demand is simplified because the goods here, whatsoever the goods are being demanded by the household or by the firms or by the government or by the foreign sectors, they are either demanded for consumption or for investment, and that is why aggregate demand is equal to C plus I. So aggregate demand is simplified C plus I. C means consumption demand, I means investment demand. Let us see the schedule, aggregate demand schedule. I think this is clear to all of you. So next one is aggregate demand schedule. Let us see the schedule. We can make the schedule of the aggregate demand. So aggregate demand schedule. We can make the aggregate demand schedule. First column we can take level of income. Level of income. We can take, let us see, this can denote by Y. In economics, generally, Y is the term used for income. So we can take here consumption. Consumption we can denote by C. We can take investment. This is I. And we can take aggregate demand, C plus I. So we can take, let us see, if the level of income is 0, consumption, we have seen consumption never be 0. Consumption is always positive. We can take here consumption is 0. If the level of income is 0, consumption is not 0. Consumption is always positive because people can use their past saving. They can use their past saving, or they can borrow from somewhere, or they can sell the asset, but they will maintain the minimum consumption. That is why even if the level of income is 0, consumption is not 0. It always remains positive. Let us see what happened. Income increases from 0 to 100. Consumption is suppose 100. If this is 200, this is 150. If this is 300, this is 200. If suppose this is 400, this goes for 250. If this is 500, this goes for 300. So what we have seen here, we have seen if income increases, consumption also increases. But consumption, increase in consumption is less than the increase into the level of income, because when the income increases more and more, the people have started saving, and that is why, let us see this, if national income increases, the consumption also increases, but increase in consumption is not equal to increase into the level of income, because people of the economy started saving. Let us see investment. Here we have taken investment in terms of autonomous investment. So we have taken, let us see, so investment, what we have taken in terms of autonomous investment. Autonomous investments are the investment which remains constant, which do not depend upon the level of income. You take the example of the government investment. So government used to take investment. Government used to inject the money into the economy in order to, let us see, bring welfare into the society, in order to increase the demand of the goods and services. So that do not depend upon the income of the government, that depends upon the government policy. It means let us assume this investment is 100 rupees. Here we have taken units, 100, but it may be thousands, means it may be crores, it may be thousands and thousands of crores. So I have taken only 100. So let us see here also 100. Here also 100. Here also 100. So how to get aggregate demand? Aggregate demand is the sum of C plus I. So 100 plus 150, this 50, 150. This is 200. This is 150 plus 100, 250. This is how much? 300. This is how much? 350. This is 400. So what we have seen, when income increases, income means GDP increases, then aggregate demand also increases. But increase in aggregate demand is less than the increase into the level of income, because some money goes for saving. So let us say saving is also invested into the economy, because whatsoever the saved into the economy are invested into the economy. So saving is also equal to investment. That we'll discuss when we will discuss the determination of the level of income and employment. I think this is clear to all of you. Let us see what is the relation between this income and aggregate demand and consumption. We can plot on a graph paper. Let us take this is income. Suppose this is 100, 200. Let us take it here, 300. This is 400. And here we can take how much? 500. On the x-axis we have taken. And let us see, this is aggregate demand. We can take, it started. So we can take it 100, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. 200, 300, 400 and 500. Suppose y-axis. We have taken, let us see, you take the investment. Investment remain constant. So investment line. When the level of income is 0, investment is how much? 100. When level of income is 100, how much investment? Is 100. When the level of income is 200, how much investment? So it means investment curve. This is investment and this investment remain constant. Investment. This investment is known as autonomous investment. Next one, let us see, is the consumption. 0 and 50. 50 will be here. Then 100 and 100. This 100 and 100. Then 200 and 150. 200 and 150. Then 300 and 200. 300 and 200. This will be here. Then 400 and 250. 400 and 250. 400 and 250. 250. Then 500 and 300. 500 and 300. 500 and 300. So we can join all these. And this curve is what? We have got, this is C. So consumption curve. This is the consumption. And another one is aggregate demand. Aggregate demand 0 and 150. This is 150. Then 100 and 200. 100 and 200. Then 200 and 250. 200 and 250. Here. Then 300 and this is 300 and 300. Let's see, this is. We can make like this so that it will not get any confusion. Make it. So this is 300 and 300, 400, this 300 and 300. It will be here. Yes. 400 and 350. 400 and 350. And 500 and 400. 500 and 400. So we can join this all. And this curve, do you know what do we call? This is AD, is C plus I. So let us see what is the relation. This is level of income. Level of income. It means this is also given in terms of rupees. This is aggregate demand. Aggregate demand is also it means investment is also plotted on y-axis. Consumption is also plotted on y-axis. Aggregate demand is also plotted on y-axis. So let us see what is the relation we have got here in between aggregate demand and the level of income. Here aggregate demand, we have seen the curve. What is the curve? The slope. Slope of aggregate demand is positive. The slope is positive. Here positive means if income will increase, aggregate demand will also increase, and vice versa. If income will decrease, if the national income of the country will decrease, then consumption will decrease, investment will decrease, and aggregate demand will also decrease. It means, let us see, here in the economy, what happens? One person consumption becomes another person income. Here in the economy, one person investment becomes another person income into the economy. So in the economy, we have seen this: when the level of income increases, aggregate demand also increases. And the relation between aggregate demand and the level of income is always positive. There is a positive relation between aggregate demand and the national income. I think the concept of aggregate demand and the concept of the this aggregate demand schedule, this aggregate demand curve is clear to all of you. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Okay, thank you.